welcoming you to our chair yoga class for the care of Waldenstrom, for the care of whatever ails you today. And we have a large group of friends here from all over. We've got Canada, Netherlands, and all across the United States. And I apologize if I'm leaving out your country. Today, we're going to dive into a stress relieving, stress managing class that will have us investigating two concepts, proprioception and interoception. So I'm just going to call this class dynamic awareness. And this can help us sort of survive. Number one, where is my body in space? Helping with balance, helping prevent injury. And it can help us with knowing how we're doing and making the according decisions. Am I really tired today? Self-regulating. Do I need a little pep in my step? So we're going to be exploring sort of what's happening on the outside and what's happening on the inside through the lens of this managing stress class. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to first find my posture. And the very first thing we do in every single class is basically a proprioceptive exercise. So I'm going to notice my feet on the earth. Maybe you're wearing shoes, maybe you're not. Both are fine. You could be seated, you could be standing, whatever feels best for you. If you're seated, I'd like you to take a moment to wiggle around in your chair a little bit and really feel your sitting bones on the seat. And then find some sort of stability with that. And then we'll just notice the length in the spine. I might sit up a little taller or stand up a little taller. And just allow myself to arrive. Maybe I want to roll the shoulders a few times. Tend to collect stress here myself. And I notice a lot of you automatically do this when you enter into our yoga classes. I've just got to kind of take this burden off. I'm going to shrug it off. And then when you're ready, you can find a bit of stillness here. If you like, you could close the eyes and we're just going to notice the breath for a moment or two. So moving into that internal awareness of what does it feel like in my body right now? Can I notice the sensation of breath, the coolness coming in, the warmth flowing out? And me, I tend to sort of immediately, when I go to this interoceptive place, notice things like tension. But what if I were to notice places that feel good to me instead? Or neutral? Like my belly's feeling pretty neutral right now. So just taking a moment to turn your awareness inward and notice whatever you notice without judgment, if possible. Right? You're just a human being doing what you can do, being how you can be, and you're welcome here in whatever state of being you're in. Maybe we can take 3 collective breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. And then briefly continuing this breath awareness, I'm just going to notice the breath in my belly. Is there any shape change in the abdomen when I breathe in? When I breathe out? Noticing the shape change in the abdomen. Noticing any movement of the rib cage, the sides of the body, the back of the body. Just filling up with that breath. Tuning in to that inner, internal awareness. And just noticing that, I'm always aware of my breath in my chest and lifting. I want to lift those shoulders all the time. So it's a really good cue for me in particular, and those of us who might do the same, to notice the breath in the belly. It kind of grounds us a bit, brings us into a more calm state. All right. So let's go ahead and blink the eyes open, and we'll do a little movement head to toe. So we're kind of bringing a little bit of a theme to our class today: proprioception, interoception. What's happening on the outside, what's happening on the inside. So I'm going to start just by cueing you with the head tilt, so right ear to the right shoulder. I'm going to inhale to center. Left ear, left shoulder. Inhale to center. And I'm moving to side, and I'm going to notice whatever I can notice internally about this movement. Maybe I can kind of gauge how far I'm going on each side, and if one side is easier or more challenging. And I might like to just drop my arms down at my sides if they're not already there. Maybe one more head tilt to each side, and maybe you've already begun to make some circles with the head. They could be very, very small. Eyes could be open, eyes could be closed. Circling the head in one direction, in the other direction. You're in the exact right place, exactly where you need to be right now with our community, moving and breathing. I just said that internally to myself, but I hope it felt true for you. All right, and then if you are experiencing tension in the neck and the shoulders, you might also reach up and use your own hands to give yourself a little bit of self-care support, a little massage, maybe taking the temperature of your soft tissue, of the trap muscles or the neck muscles, noticing how firm they feel. So we're noticing that from the outside and the inside. Can feel the sensation of a bit of relief there. Yes, I really like that too, Edith. Just a really gentle kind of fingers down the sides of the neck can help move the lymph fluid as well. Really beautiful to use light touch as well as getting into the muscular sensation there. So thank you for the idea. All right. Now let's open the arms, both arms out to the sides with the palms lifted, fingers spread wide. And without looking, I know where the ends of my hands are, where the ends of my arms are. And I'm just taking a moment to really feel that spread of the arms. And just holding the arms up here, I can feel the work I'm doing. So keeping the breath flowing. Maybe you want to make a fist around the thumbs and drop both knuckles down, and we'll do that 2 more times unless you're feeling really tired. So lifting, spreading the fingers. You got it, Judy. Welcome. Knuckles down. So good to see you. And we'll take one more lift, spread. You got it. Knuckles down. And now I'm just going to release the left arm down. Leave that right arm lifted up, palm holding up that imaginary wall. And I'm tilting my left ear to my left shoulder and beginning to circle this palm. And the palm can move downward little by little. Awareness of both an external movement and how it feels internally, maybe in the shoulder joint. Arm moving downward, and then I'll tuck my arm behind my back or rest my hand on my hip. See how that feels. You could stay here if you're feeling enough sensation to feel useful, beneficial. Or maybe you want to experience something a little different by spinning the chin down. And whatever I'm doing, I can always infuse with the breath, thereby making it more of an internal experience. All right, and then releasing out of there. Let's lift that left arm out to the left, about shoulder height. I'm tilting my right ear to my right shoulder, circling the palm, delineating my space. This is my space to take care of myself today. I'm not going to worry about anybody else or anything I've got to do on my calendar. This is the moment I'm in. Why not really be in it fully? Arm moving downward little by little. Continuing to breathe, and maybe when you're ready, just tucking that arm behind the back or resting the hand on the hip. Noticing what you notice here. Maybe comparing, contrasting between the other side. Maybe you want to spin the chin down. Very good. And then I'll come back up, opening both arms out to the sides. See if you can lift the heart, a little bit of a back bend. Maybe lift the chin as well if that feels good to you. And then I'll bring my arms in front of me and give myself a hug, one arm on top, tucking the chin, maybe a slight rounding to the spine. So we're bringing some movement into the spine now and the arms, opening the arms, lifting the chest. Exhaling, giving yourself a hug, opposite arm on top, tucking the chin. And just flowing through this movement, this opening and lifting, and this hugging and tucking a few more times. Your own pace. Very good. When you're ready, you can just come back to neutral, maybe take a sip of water or whatever you've got going on there. And then I'll move to a bit of a farther away posture here so that you can see the full body if you're wanting to do that. So taking a bit of a wider stance. I'm sitting up away from the back of my chair, and I'm just going to lift my heels, lift my toes. I'm going to warm up the ankles, the toes, the feet. This is the foundation of my balance. And love proprioceptive exercises for balance and recovery after injury, preventing injury. So this is just a warm-up to get to one of our really, really fun proprioceptive exercises I have today. And then I'm going to let my feet rest and start to circle my torso. Right? If you're standing, you could circle the hips. Leaning forward, to the side, to the back. Right, really noticing. I could even do this with my eyes closed. Noticing my body moving through space. Noticing how that feels to distribute the weight from one sitting bone to the other. Noticing the spine, the pelvic tilting in and out. Maybe you want to move the other direction and just keep that breath flowing. A couple more breaths. Very good. Flowing back to neutral. We're going to bring both arms out to the sides with the elbows bent. And feeling that strength in my arms. I might be kind of making a little muscle here, my bicep muscle contracting. Take a breath in. As you exhale, squeeze the palms and the forearms together. Really push there. Breathing in, opening, elbows coming back. Squeeze those shoulder blades. And then we're closing the palms and the forearms together. Breathing in, opening the window on a brand new day. Exhaling, coming back to my center, my home base here. Doing this a couple more times. I really start to feel the benefits of this with my posture because I forget to turn on those muscles in the upper back that squeeze my shoulder blades. All right, you got it, Celia. One more time. And I'm going to give myself another hug here. Maybe tuck the chin. Take a breath. And now, let's play. I'm going to pretend that I am a marionette to myself. And with my hands, I'm going to draw up imaginary strings from my knees. And I'm going to control my legs with my strings here. So I'm going to lift up my right leg, that right string lifting, and walking my foot back to center. Lifting up my left leg, bringing it back to center. So I'm walking myself out with my imaginary marionette string. Imaginary marionette, that's hard to say. Walking myself out and in, and just playing with this movement and feeling this connection of, maybe some new neural pathways kind of developing with this. And you could play around. So maybe the next time I walk in, I could lift my knee up and kick my leg out and bring it back down. Lifting the left leg up, kicking that leg out, and placing it back down. So play around with your marionette strings. Maybe there's a different movement that will call to you. Maybe I could walk them in, both of them in, and both of them out. That's really hard. Wow, you got it, Carol. It's a lot of core strength to do the walking in and out at the same time. It's a little rock and keeping that low back from sinking. All right, let's return to home base here. And then we'll walk. Actually, let's come back to the wider stance. And I'm just going to extend the right leg long. So I'm in the wide stance. I've got the right leg long. Heel is resting on the earth. And I'm just going to lift. Did I say right leg? No. I want my right leg long. And I'm lifting my right arm up and reaching over to the side. So you might even use your forearm down on that left leg for support. Come on back. We're going to do a few little pulses of this. Breathing in, right arm reaching up and over. Breathing out, coming back down. Feel that big span of length in your body. Maybe one more lift and reach, and really breathing into that right rib cage. And then relaxing back. And we'll switch sides. So extending now that left leg out to the side with a little bit of a wider stance on the right side. Reaching my left arm up and over. You got it, Mike. Coming back to center. Moving at my own pace. Really feeling that length. Maybe one more would feel good. Very good. Still in my slightly wider stance, I'll bring my arms at my sides. Inhale, both arms up. Palms touch over the head, bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Maybe close your eyes. Breathing in, arms rise. Just having this sense of the body moving through the air. Inhaling, feeling that air on the palms as you reach up. Feeling the warmth of the palms as you come to heart center. Let's do two more. One more. And with my hands at heart center, I'll now come into Garuda Mudra, which is simply bringing both hands onto the chest over the heart space with the thumbs sort of interlocked. And I'll take a moment, just bringing myself into this shape, this mudra, immediately brings me to a more internal place. So as I breathe in, I'm breathing into my hands. And feeling that blur between the lines of what's inside and what's outside. Where proprioception ends and interoception begins is a very informal and constantly dynamically changing thing. So you can come back to that anytime you want to just sort of check in with yourself. I'll bring my feet to about hip distance apart, and I'm going to make a decision for myself now. Should I stand or should I stay seated? Whatever works for you, my friends. This transition from seated to standing, if you're going to make it with me, is a great opportunity to be both proprioceptive and interoceptive. So I'm feeling my feet on the earth. I'm leaning forward, creating a little momentum, right? Maybe I can feel a little raised heartbeat from our movements. When you're ready, you can come to stand carefully, slowly. If that's what you're doing, make a nice clear path for yourself for our standing shapes. Maybe take a sip of water. Coming to our standing or seated mountain pose. So I'll just take a moment to connect with my feet, moving my mind down to my feet, filling up all 10 toes, maybe even lifting and spreading them, gripping the earth, noticing the heels, noticing the forefoot, and kind of sliding my mind up the body, little by little, maybe integrating some more awareness of the legs, the core, the openness across the chest. Maybe I can stand for just a moment longer, palms facing forward. Noticing where my head is. Am I jutting my chin forward? Can I tuck that chin a little bit? Yep, lift yourself up by that imaginary string at the top of the head, Beth, you've got it. And then from here, friends, I'm going to take a moment to just bend one knee, lift one heel at a time. So I'm kind of massaging my feet and moving my weight from side to side. Doing whatever feels best with the arms. You could take the hands to the hips if that would feel good. right? So just lifting one heel at a time, massaging the toes. Really nice to bring some movement, some awareness of the feet for those experiencing peripheral neuropathy in the feet. So you could stay doing that, or maybe you'd like to grab onto your chair and come up onto your tiptoes, release back down. Maybe you want to incorporate arm movement with this. Gently lifting off.
Hold on one sec. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Okay, we're set to go.
okay. Coming up onto the tiptoes and releasing back down. With your breath, kind of turning on that peripheral vision if that's an option for you. Really nice, Sophie. Really good to see you doing the balance after all your body has been through. Beautiful, Carol. Floating your way up. Light, effervescent, lift. Float your way down. Very good. I'm going to sink into my knees. Bring my hips back. Belly towards the spine. And just take my hands to heart center, or maybe I want to do that Garuda Mudra over the chest. Thumbs interlocking. Pushing the feet apart. Finding my breath. And then coming to stand, I'm just going to walk it out. So I'm walking in place, opposite arm, opposite leg. Without looking down, I know where my feet are. I know where my legs are. I know where my arms are. I know that I'm moving through space. Like this is my, I don't know, human beings are amazing. So I'm just walking in place, kind of getting a sense of the fullness, the wholeness of my body moving. And then I'll take a moment and transition to a warrior one. I'm going to bring my right foot forward and my left foot back at a little angle, bending into my right knee, torso is upright. Squeeze the left glute muscle. Maybe the hands come to heart center today, or Garuda Mudra, that's an option. Both hands over the heart, thumbs interlocking. Finding my breath. Noticing what I can notice on the outside and on the inside. Very good. Releasing. Moving to pyramid pose. So I'll shorten my stance. Option to rest the hands on the back of the chair, or maybe you want to bring one or both hands onto the sacrum today. It's kind of a nice way to keep the heart open. And I'm taking a bow here over my right leg. See if you can lift the right kneecap so that right thigh is engaged. You've got it, Kit. So let's tuck the chin. I'm leading with the heart, not the chin. Breathing into the sensation. You got it, Greg. Going as far as feels good to me. And that might be different from when I last did this. You got it, Roxanne. A little chin tuck. Yes, beautiful. Coming up nice and slow. We'll step the left foot forward. Bring the right foot back at an angle. Warrior one on the second side, sinking into that left knee. Squeezing the right glute, torso upright. Maybe Garuda Mudra, maybe the palms at heart center. And what I love, love, love about yoga is that I am always changing. And so I can do my same yoga pose every single day, and it is different every single day, the way I experience a yoga shape like Warrior One. Beautiful, guys. You bending into that left knee? Yeah, come on up nice and slow, and we'll move to pyramid. So shorten the stance. Both legs will be straight for this. Option to bring the hand or hands onto the chair, or maybe you want to rest both hands on the sacrum, opposite arm on top from what you did before. And I'm taking a bow, leaning forward, keeping the chin tucked. Feeling what I feel. Maybe I can move my mind to that sensation, that stretching sensation. Yeah, you got it, Marty. Tune into the sensation you're feeling. One more breath. And then coming up nice and slow. All right, I'm going to come to a wide stance. Take my arms behind my back, grabbing opposite forearms if possible, or hands on the hips. And I'm taking a circle with my hips. Welcome, Jennifer. I'm glad you're here. Circling the hips. One direction, the other direction. It's kind of loosening the hips up for a moment. All right, coming back to neutral. So this could be a little bit of a balance challenge, but I'm going to bring my toes out to the sides a bit. If you have knee issues, you might want to just keep them forward. I'm going to sink into my knees and try to have the knees and the toes pointing on the same line. So the knees aren't sort of crumbling in. Feeling the strength in my core, I'm kind of pulling my belly in, tilting that pelvis back a bit. And feel the strength in those legs. Now, if you wanted to, you could bring one or both arms out to the sides. Goddess pose. The elbows are bent, so I'm like a cactus. Here, strong pose here. I might inhale and just straighten everything. Reach the arm or arms, straighten the legs. Star shape. Feel that expanse that you're taking up. And then sinking back down into goddess. So knees bend, belly to the spine, arms bend. It's beautiful, Karen. We're inhaling and reaching into star. However far up feels good to you. You can keep the hand on the chair the whole time. And then we'll come back down to goddess one last time. Really rooting down into this shape. You've got it. And then I'll come to stand, walk my feet back, and I'll just scissor the arms in front, kind of loosen up the arms. One hand on top, the other hand on top, just getting the arms moving, finding the breath. And then I'll give you a little, this was unplanned, but I think I want to add breath of joy. I think maybe you did this in one of Sharon's classes recently. It's one of my faves too. It's great for that little afternoon pick-me-up, or if you're feeling blue. So I want to get my energy up with this. We're going to be lifting the arms straight out to the sides, and then up over your head. And then we come down, arms coming down, we take a little bend to the knee. So it's out in front, out to the sides, overhead, and down. Okay, so that's the arm movement. I'm going to add breath to this. So it's going to be inhale, 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 exhale. All right, that sound good? So let's do this together. Breathing in, lifting up, breathing in, and out. So it sounds like this. One more. All right, and then I'm just going to let it all dangle and be loose. And I tell you, this weekend I drove by a windsock person and I thought of you guys, you know, outside the car dealership. And it was doing the most amazing dance, and I was listening to some music on the radio, and it was totally dancing with the music. I was laughing so hard. So sometimes we do the windsock person, where it's just imagining yourself filled with air, flowing with that air. The arms can kind of move all around. Sometimes the windsock person just kind of deflates, and then up they go again. Right, so just having fun with that, maybe not taking ourselves too seriously sometimes. All right, maybe a little sip of water would be good. I'm feeling windy. So option to sit if you are feeling spent. I might want to add just one more balance pose here. So I'm just going to stand on one leg. Flamingo pose. Weight coming into the right leg. Lifting up the left. Maybe the toe stays on the ground. Maybe I hug that knee in. Maybe you want to make it really challenging for yourself and lift that knee all the way up. See how that feels. Maybe I'm taking my hand off the chair for like a millisecond. Maybe I don't want to work so hard. I keep the leg down. Beautiful. Switching sides. Weight in the left foot. Lift that right leg however high you want. Find your sense of being as well as your sense of body and space. All right. Really nice, guys. So I like to practice flamingo or tree pose at least once a day. Coming to sit. I'm going to wind down now with that right ankle over the left knee. Grabbing onto the shin, leaning the heart forward, moving my mind into the sensation I'm experiencing and just breathing into that. Option to, massage that right foot while you're here. Sitting up when you're ready. Oh, I needed that stretch today. Cross the knee over. We'll take a gentle twist to the right. So I'm using the muscles in my torso to twist, allowing the shoulders to soften. Maybe I peek over that right shoulder, letting the hands support this in whatever way feels good. And then releasing back to center, switching it up with the left ankle over the right knee, grabbing onto the shin or whatever's available. I'm just going to lean forward a little bit. The side could feel different, honoring that. Soften where you can soften, bring the breath into it. Couple more breaths. And then we'll sit up, cross the knee over, take a little twist to the left. Sitting up tall on your inhale, exhale, maybe you twist a little deeper. Really nice, beautiful posture there. And then we'll come back to center. I want to take up a lot of space. Lift the arms. Make any movements the body's asking for. Maybe you want to circle the wrists. Maybe you want to give yourself another delicious hug. And we'll wind down with just a bit more breath awareness, just a minute or two. So come to find your comfortable posture. If you're really tired, depleted, fatigued today, you can lie down. Got my koshi chimes. Can you hear those? Okay. Okay, so option to close the eyes. And just take a moment to settle in. Feel the feet on the earth, the seat in the chair. Maybe sitting up a little taller, softening the shoulders. Noticing if you can feel a sense of energy in the body. Maybe just scanning the body head to toe. In whatever order would be best for you. And then together as a community, we'll breathe. As we inhale, we can say to ourselves internally, I'm breathing in. As we exhale, we can say to ourselves internally, I am breathing out. And as we breathe, our bodies fill with the breath. As we exhale, we can sense that breath leaving the body. I'm breathing in. I am breathing out. I am breathing in. I am whole. I am breathing out. I am grounded. I am connected. And then just taking another moment for yourself to thank yourself for making this time today. When you're ready, you could take the hands to heart center or Garuda Mudra if that feels good. And I'll close our session today, joining us together with the sounds of 1 Om and 3 Shantis. Shanti means peace, and we can allow that peace to reverberate within our community today. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And thanking you so much for your practice today, friends. Namaste.